The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start the show a little differently today. We're going to pass on the DAX and pass on the FTSE, but we are going to cover the British pound in just a moment. But I did put up the chart here for the gold. This is the hourly gold chart. I marked those little red boxes. That's where we were doing our positions. The first three were the shorts that we put on, and then the fourth one was where we covered. And now we went back short last night at 1846 with we basically have a break-even stop in it now, but it's broken about $7 from that level. But it's very important, and the reason why is if you look at the time frame from November the 9th to the 15th, and you compare that between the 29th and the 3rd, you're going to see that those time frames are very, very similar. The only difference is the rate of change of the market going up since November 30th has been very, very strong. So I would prefer to be a buyer of this, but I cannot pass on not taking a look at this on the short side because of the fact that it's such a perfect 382 retracement, and the time is lined up pretty nicely for it. And it's a bit overbought because we've rallied, believe it or not, $70, actually $80 an ounce from the bottom, which is a little bit troubling when you get out of the short down there, but didn't go long. But that's what they call show business, boys and girls. We are going to have a very special guest today, folks. My good friend and astrologer par excellence, Alfie Lavoie. He's the one the astrologers go to when they have problems. Most all of them use it. Well, so many of them use his software, Air software. Bill Meridian does, and a whole bunch of other folks that he's going to be talking to. He's got a Christmas sale coming up. He's going to be talking to us about the Dow Jones, and he'll be able to answer any questions if you have for him. But he's 6 years older than me, and we were laughing about it yesterday. He said, "I'm still working 12 hours a day in my retirement and loving it." And I told him, I said, Alfie, I said, it's the same with me, and it's 7 days a week. It's in my blood, and I've just enjoyed it. And I think the people that I've met along the way have made a big difference in that. Otherwise, it might not be as exciting as it ordinarily would. Now, I wanted to cover one trade that we've been watching here very, very closely, and that is the natural gas. And I'll just run through you what I was looking at today. You'll notice that we were looking for the pullback to come down to this 268 level, and it looked like it was going to be doing that this morning. However, I had a slight edge this morning, and that was my AI program was telling me that there was a high probability that this natural gas was going to be going down at least till around 11 o'clock this morning. That's 2 hours from now. So at 2 hours, I might take a look at it to see if it's got some type of a bottom coming in here. So I use that as a tool to sometime give me a pretty good idea. Now, you can do the same thing yourself. If you look at the key times, and you've got to practice this yourself, you have to go back and test the key times of the day where natural gas has a tendency to move. Now, I don't know if it's due to algorithmic trading or not. I really don't know. But the same sequences that we see in price, you can see those in time. That's some of the things that we're going to be covering when we do the full day session next week. And I will say this is going to be the best one I've ever done. I can promise you that. It's a no-brainer, folks. If you've been thinking about doing it, just do it. You will not. You will get paid for doing what you're doing. I can promise you that. We're there to make money. That's the number one goal. I'll do a little bit of teaching, but the number one goal for this full day, 5 hours, is to make money. So our first goal is to cover the 295 that you put up, and the second goal was to try to make that profitable. And I'm not going to let you lose. So if we lose this time, I'm going to figure out a way that you won't lose when we do it the second time, or follow through of some sort. But I've got some ideas. I have to run those through TFNN first, but this is going to be a really good one. We will have Tommy Terrific, Trader Tom. Tom Hugard will be coming in for a short time, and as will Jim Twentyman, talking to us about harmonic numbers and his experiences with WD Gann over the years. So those are just a few of the things that we're looking ahead for next week. But it's pretty much a no-brainer. It will be the best one that we've had. Well, let's just talk about Brexit for a second, folks. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, because way back in 2016, this was before our election, I happened to be over in the UK visiting my good friend, Mr. AZ, and it was right about 4 days before Brexit. That was back on June 27th of 2016. If you look at the left-hand side of the chart, where you see the little arrow, it says Brexit, and you'll see the 61% retracement. And this is a weekly chart, folks. So that was a monster ABCD up there that was completing. It was also a 3-drive to a top pattern at the 150 level, and at 149.80 we went short that, and by golly, that turned out to be a really monster that day. The problem was I covered it with a 19-handle win on the first day, and if I'd have been smart, I would have followed it all the way down at least till October. And if you look at the time frame, and this is where you want to be pyramiding, much like we did in the gold. But if you look at the time frame from July through September, this is weekly. Look at that little tiny ABCD between July and August of 2016. Just, it goes nowhere. I mean, that market is so weak you can't even believe it. And it got you down to the final area. But look where we are now, boys and girls. We're sitting here again. They're getting ready to discover Brexit again. I guess it's due within a few days. And, of course, everybody's expecting it's going to be working out really great, which it may do, but we're setting at a 382 retracement of those highs way back in 2015. So we have to be really, really careful when we're getting long up in here. This is my 2 cents worth, folks, and like I mentioned many times, sometimes if you pay more than 2 cents, it's not worth what you're thinking about. Now, here's another one that is really interesting to me. I was I was visited by one of my favorite relatives last night, folks, Mother Nature. And what I was doing, because I have such a strong interest in this pound, I'm not in it at all, but I was watching the pound last night, and I had what I was looking for, what the forecast was going to be. And I can see this, the market when it's trading at 133.50 was, getting ready to go, at least 150 handles higher, 1.5 points, not 150 handles. And that's what we're looking at. But the forecast for today is possibly to the downside. Now, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I'm just looking at the probabilities of looking at some of these. These are how you figure out what the probabilities are on the number of times that you look at things. Folks, Larry Williams did a study many years ago, back, I think it was 1977, when I was directly charged $5,000 for it. But he had all the statistics about how often the market went up 3 days in a row and then pulled back, 4 days in a row and then pulled back, 5 days in a row, then put back all the way up to 8 days. After 8 days, the market is in a run. In other words, if it goes up 9 days, you better stand aside. And I can tell you another factor that's really important to that. When it goes beyond 1.618, that's important. And that number in the euro today, folks, is 121.80, 876.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks. I wanted to post up one chart to take a look at this morning that should be quite interesting because I do a great deal of work in the E-mini S&P. But if we take a look at it, for this morning, we're looking for a high to come in the next 15 minutes. My assumption is it's going to be somewhere, we should be making a new high above the 3670 level. That's the way it's set up for this morning. Somewhere between 3675 would be the one of my ideal points, and the second one would be 3684. That's going to come in between 930 and 940. So let's see if that, in fact, does work out that way. We'll do one thing at a time here as we're looking at some of these things here this morning. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you today is about the Treasury bond market, folks. We really need to spend some time here on the Treasury bond market, and I'll tell you why. If you take a look at this, we topped in this market a long time ago, way back in, April, up at that 180, whatever it was at that level. And then we've had this big move down. Now, if you notice this chart, someone asked the question by email last night is why didn't we, press the Treasury bonds to the downside like we did gold, because we were bearish in Treasury bonds. You can see that downsloping line. The problem is, if you'll look at the Treasury bond rallies, folks, when these things rally, they really rally. The problem in the gold market, we were selling the rallies, okay? But look what happened if you'd have broke key support. Every time you broke key support in the bonds, it rallied $2,000 to $3,000. You know what you're going to set with a $2,000 to $3,000 loss? on a second or third position. No, that's not the way you want to do it. You want to be able to, get the position to work in your favor so that you can control the risk that you have. And believe me, when you've got three contracts of gold on, you're talking about, a lot of leverage in there, so you've got to be really careful. And that's part of the difficulty of pyramiding and running. And remember, Mr. Z gave us a really good description on the way up in soybeans. Remember, he was bullish those beans. It was a November contract down about $8.50, and they went to $12. And he added several times on the way up, and that market was going straight up. So someone's asked me the question, why didn't we get into that? Well, I wasn't watching beans. I was doing some corn and some wheat, but I wasn't watching beans. Part of the problem that I have, folks, I've got to be really careful here at TFNN because I have a responsibility to the folks here, Tommy and Tommy O'Brien. They do a great job bringing all these people in. So my main focus is to make sure that you don't lose very much, because if you do that, you're going to have as many customers as you want. One of my first days, well, it was the first day that I went to work at Drexel, they sat down with me and they told me this story. I'll tell you again because it's important. He said, we've got a great clientele here. They're accustomed to making money, and they're accustomed to losing money. The one thing they're not accustomed to is losing all their money. And so if you lose 25%, you better sit down with your customer and have a very long talk, because that's the key to staying alive in this business. And by golly, they were right. Fortunately, I was long gold and silver during those years, and we didn't have any 25% pullbacks. But, if you'd have been in the stock market during that time, you were really having a rough time, because that was a lot of recessionary stuff going on, and T-bill rates were running 13%. So a lot of competition for capital at that point. So remember, you've got to be able to, keep your clients alive and try to make them as happy as you can. And that's the one thing I'm going to be focusing on the full day session next week, is to make you guys happy, because I've got some new things that I'm going to be sharing with you. And I am going to be start looking at more of at least adding one position, if not two. But the thing that I think is important is that some people add 5, 6, 7 times, and that's possible. But as I reach the 8th furlong pole, I don't want to take that kind of risk. So what I like to do is to sit there with my little hammer and chisel and my little mining hat on and chip away and get some nice profits. The treasury bonds, I'm not sure what my game plan in the treasury bond is this, folks. I'm looking, this market's broken pretty good here. We had a really couple bad down days. Now I'm looking for a 38% retracement here in these March bonds. That would bring us up to about the 173 level. If this is Thursday, Friday, if we're not any higher than 173 on Monday, I think we got to start really thinking about, pressing this puppy to the downside, because, no matter what the Fed is doing, and they're throwing everything that they can. Look what the dollar's doing, folks. Look what happened when we went below that 91.50 level in the U.S. dollar, man. It just drifted. I mean, it fell off a cliff. And, that tells you that is broken badly. I mean, there's one, well, let's move on to the next one, Larry. Anyway, that one is really, hits some pretty big support resistance and went through it and told you it's going to go a lot lower. Now, the area that you have to pay attention to on the long-term weekly chart of the euro, and I will cover this in the 24/7 newsletter this week, is the I believe it's the 123 level. Yes, 123 will be the 78% retracement on the weekly chart. And so that's what we're watching. The pound, I've already gone through that. That's at 135 level. We'll see how it's going to handle that. But we'll keep an eye on it. And believe me, these things could go a long way. And I don't think people don't think the dollar is going to be strong or can be weak. But by golly, look what they did to the stock market, given all the stuff that's been going on there. And it keeps going up and up and up and up. And there's a reason for that. There's some people there that are a whole lot smarter than the people that are trying to short it, which, I gave up trying to short it at 34.50, but I'm getting ready next week, folks. This is a really interesting one because of the way we're coming into this. And today is going to be a really super key day. I better double check where we are with that, because I don't think I've gotten filled yet, because I haven't seen the order pop up. Hold on one second here. see where we are. Did we get to that level? How are we at now? We are at, no, we'd like to get this thing up a little bit more. I want it to get above 3672 is what I'd like to see here in the next 15 minutes, and that's where I will be putting my toe in the water and seeing how it's going to be working. But that's pretty much the way I'm watching it right now. The key level in that treasury British pound to look at, folks, is 135. We were looking at that on the short side at 134.650. And it's a few pips under that right now, but I still think we got a minimum of a chance, but we'll pay close attention to it, and we'll see what's going on, and we will be going from that level right there. Okay, now let's move on to the next question that someone had, and that was about the grains. I believe we've made a major top here in the grains, folks, and the reason why, we've had some really bullish news, both on supply, demand, and weather, and the market has not reacted well to it. Wheat has started to weaken, and as has soybean oil. So both of those are starting to give us indications. But again, it's not a clear signal. My game plan there, because this has been such a strong bull market, is we have to wait for our first counter trend move. I'm looking at either a 382 or a ABCD on a real quiet 3 to 5 day move. That'll tell us that we're getting very, very close to a really low risk position, much like when we were looking to buy corn when it was down there, at it was way down there. I think it's what, it was 360, I think. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back, and I believe we have Alfie Lavoie of Air Software. Are you there, Alfie?
Yes, I'm here.
Alfie, I have good news and I have bad news. I received your chart of the Dow, but I cannot open it for some reason. You know, I'm not the technical expert that some people think I am. But you could tell us what you're looking for, and then maybe when I finally get the chart, I'll post it to the folks to see it. But, you know, folks, if you have never heard Alfie before, he's the dean of astrologers. They go to him when they have a question. So it's a real honor to have you here, Alfie. I've been fortunate enough to know you for many years, and you know, it's been a nice ride anyway.
Yeah,
why don't you've got a sale going this Christmas, right, on your software?
Yeah, we always have a sale, although that we don't have a sale on our market trader software. You know. Okay. That one there. The only thing is that in one way we do, in one way we don't. We have 2 versions out right now. You know, we used to have 4 versions. And, of course, I wrote my first software back in 1980. And I met somebody on Wall Street that says if you can predict the market 51% of the time, we will get rich. So he got me into astrology and the market. And so we've done 4 pieces of software, which I've lectured all over the world. We've got people, thousands and thousands of people using it. But in the last 6 months, you know, I redid all the models because I keep doing research, and we just came out with 2 new versions, which we call the Alpha Trading System 1, the Alpha Trading System 2. And so if somebody is interested, they can always send me an email, or, you know, because I have YouTube videos on it, how to use it and what you can do out of it and all that.
Mm-hmm. Alfie, guess what? I finally got the Dow up, the Dow chart that you put in there. I downloaded it, and I was able to open it, so I could post that up if you wanted to discuss that. That's the one with the red, green, and blue lines. So you want to tell the folks what that is? Yeah,
I can tell the folks what that is. That's what we do here is I took the Dow for 1885 till now. And what we do is that we say, okay, this is going on in the sky back in 1885, and the Dow went down. So we give a negative value for that. The next day goes up, and that's going on in the sky. We keep going back and forth. Remember, we use neural net, and who's the one that turned me on neural net mathematics? You.
Oh, that was a long time ago, 20 years.
Yeah, right. So we use neural net mathematics, and what it does is that it uses Fourier analysis in the back, and it does curve fitting. And when the curve fitting were just right, it projects it ahead. That's what I got right there. So that's the time when the thing goes up. That means the stock is going to go up. There's a big problem, though. It works, I would say, 95% of the time right. When it says the stock is going to go down, that day the stock will go down. If it says it goes up, it goes up. But just because the arrow is higher than the other one doesn't mean it's going to go up higher or lower. That's one thing about astrology. We have other techniques like the, Bradley and some other techniques that we use to find out, on that day, if the stock is really going to go up or how much is it going to go up if it predicts growing up. So as you can see, you see the red, the green, and the blue. One is done with neural net and using 150-50, average, 50 days, and one is RSI and the other one is 110-10. And I feel that the 110-10, the green and the red, which is RSI, gives me better thing. And it works extremely, extremely well.
Mm-hmm. You've got another chart here with the Jupiter-Saturn angle, and that is a little more complex from my point of view. So you can tell the folks what you're looking at here. It's a 6.84 cycles.
Yeah, what happened is this. This is 6.8. That means 6.8 years. And I'm putting a book together right now with these techniques, and I'm going to have maybe a couple hundred of these things here. It says to you that when Jupiter and Saturn comes in the sky, all right, and from the time it conjuncts 0 degree angle, then 10 degrees, 15 degrees going on to 360 back to the same conjunction, it tells you, if you look at the sextile there, that's 60 degrees, tells you how much, every time that aspect happened, how many times the stock went up, how much did it go up, and how much did it go down. And that's really, really powerful. And we're going to see that two things this year that I need. The stock doesn't look that bad this year at all, but two times that I feel, that aspect that you're looking at there will happen on December 20th. And it's a conjunction. So conjunction is the beginning and the end. You can see that on looking at that graph, that at the end it wants to go down a little bit. So about the 20th of December, somewhere around the 19, 20, 21 or so, you see the market going down. But we don't see it really freaking out. But two dates that I would watch a lot this year would be January, let me see here, January 17th, which we're going to have the Jupiter-Uranus aspect, and that's a square. And that one there is a little freaky a little bit, when we do that, because we know that square there tends to take the stock down quite a bit. Some of the major stock down, 7%, 6%, 5% are in this area. But the worst one would be February 17th. And so if you take like February 15 to about like the 20 right there, that's the Saturn-Uranus. And that one there is sort of crucial a little bit. Because when I do what we call the composite, what you see there, when it comes down to the square, the graph goes right down almost to nothing. And that means that in the past, every time that aspect came up, all right, that's how much the price came down, or the Dow came down. It's based on the Dow.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So those are the two dates that I would worry about: January 17th, give or take a few days before, and February 17th. On the 20th, I would worry, but I wouldn't worry, to say, well, I need to get out. No, I think that, I look at these days more as a buy-in day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes good sense.
Yeah, because when I trade day trade, so I buy in 2 days, I want to be out. And our software works very well with day trade. You know what I mean? If you want to buy something, we have, in our software, we use what we call the first trade chart, the IPO chart. And so that's one prediction. Then we use only the price, the past price, and then we use other techniques. So if all three techniques says to you, this is a down and it's going to be up in 2 days, then you buy and sell, you make money.
Okay. Hey, Alfie, stay with us. We have to pay a few bills with an ad, and then we'll be back with you some more. Okay, you can tell the folks how they can reach you. We'll be right back with Alfie Lavoie, Air Software, folks.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The gold report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The gold report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Alfie Lavoie of Air Software. We have a question from one of our listeners, Alfie, and then we have Bill Meridian scheduled as our guest tomorrow. We have him on occasionally, and I believe Bill uses your software, doesn't he? And
yes, as a matter of fact, Bill, I work with Bill for about, 5-6 years, and he's the one that's the rock, for us, our trading software, because he's the one that sat me down and say, you use first rate chart, you use this, and he used to come and spend all kinds of time over here. And, Bill is definitely, I have to give him 100% credit for what I've done with the software.
Well, I know he sure thinks the world of you, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think the world of him, too. I mean, without him, I wouldn't be trading today.
Yeah. Well, I have one other question, Alfie. Didn't the fellow from Russia, Sergey, help you with that, too? Because I met him once at
yes,
many years ago. Whatever happened to him?
Well, we're still working together. He's in Toronto. I brought him from Russia and brought him to Canada. I couldn't bring him to the United States because he was one of the top Russian scientists, nuclear scientists. And he said, we don't want to mess around with that. So finally I was able to bring him to Canada.
Oh, my gosh. Boy, you've led such a colorful life. How about Rob Hand? Is he still with us?
Yeah, but Rob Hand is sort of backed off quite a bit. We hardly see him anymore, although I speak to him quite often. But Yeah,
he used to be on TV all the time. Every time somebody was on with Carl Sagan or something, he would be right behind him. Hey, listen, tell the folks how they can reach you with the software, what you have available for Christmas time.
Well, they can reach me. First of all, you can look at my website, and it's very simple. It's alfie.com, www, and it's spelled Alphee. It's a French name. And Alphee. And if you go over there, and you'll see, all our software. And if also you have my phone number and my email there. And if you want to get the link for my videos. I have hours, a 1-hour video, how to trade with astrology and trade the market with astrology. And it's on YouTube. So once you got the link, all you got to do is double-click on the link, and, you got an hour thing, step for step, how to trade with astrology.
Wow. Alfie, can I tell a little story about when I met you, going back to 1988 at the American Federation of Astrologers meeting in Las Vegas? I was giving a speech about my book, Astro-Cycles: A Trader's Viewpoint, and Commander David Williams had endorsed it, and he was there along with Ruth Miller, and I saw this really gorgeous girl in the lobby, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "This girl is an absolute knockout." So me being recently divorced, I said I had to try to put all my newly learned moves on her. So I went over, and she was incredibly friendly and everything, and just absolutely. And I'm saying, oh my God, where have you been all my life? The problem was she was married to you, Alfie.
Yeah. My honey.
I know. Carol was there, and then you came up, and she introduced me to you, and I said, oh man, I felt like about 2 inches tall, but we became friends ever since that time.
Yeah,
but,
that's right. Yeah.
And she's still as pretty as she was the day I met her 30-some years ago. So that's good.
The first time I met you, Larry, just before we went to Las Vegas at some astrological trading conference, and I was going to lecture there. And you said to me, "Why don't you come? I'm going there too. Why don't you come and spend a week with me, and I'll show you how to trade?" Because I had just got into trading software, so I went and spend a week with you, and I was watching you trade every day. You say, "This is how you do it." So that was also a solid thing for me to learn how to trade from you.
Yeah, that was back in the old days of Pismo Beach and stuff. So seems like a century ago. Listen, we're going to have you on again soon, my friend. So maybe on these dates that we'll look at, December 20th, January 17th, we'll be ringing your bell again to see if you'll come on, okay?
Well, I'll do more work on that. And if I find anything new, I will email it to you so you can show it to your people.
That sounds great, Alfie. Thanks for joining us today, too, my friend. And be safe and tell Carol I said hello.
Okay, I sure will.
You bet.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, thank you, Alfie Lavoie, for being on. Folks, there you have a really class act. Let me tell you, that guy is as good as it gets. Anyway, a couple things that we're watching here. We've had a little tiny break here in the euro of about 40 pips. That jumps around that much. The number we hit in the S&P, we were looking for 36.72. We hit 36.73. As long as we don't get above 36.85. It should be basically a down day today. We'll see. And, of course, we're looking at the gold. It looks like it has a tendency to go a lot lower. We're now $10 below the 382 retracement that we were looking for last night at 1846. And it seems to be holding up, relatively well. At that point, someone's asking the question, "How pretty was she?" And she said, "Hey, I'm not kidding you. She's in the class of Bo Derek. I mean, this girl is just absolutely stunning, and just as friendly as could be. But and they're nice people. Sarah and I went to Connecticut to spend 5 or 6 days with them. Oh my gosh, 10 years or so ago, and had a wonderful time. And we went to the casino. And Alfie doesn't gamble. He's a professional risk taker. So I had $20, and so I said, "Here's $20, Alfie. Tell us what to play." And so he told Sarah, "Go over and play that slot machine." And so she goes over there with the $20, and she's down about $18, and boom, she hits one. She gets about a $50 jackpot. So we made $30, and so that was it. We were able to buy dinner. We didn't starve that night, but once again, proving astrology can be right, but not in a slot machine. I can promise you that. That was just flat out luck. Okay, let's move on here. By the way, what we do here, folks, is not gambling. This is intelligent risk speculation, as it refined in the book by Reminiscences of an Operator by Edwin Lefevre. So let's remind ourselves that this is not really a gambling game. It is more of a game of risk speculation and knowing what your amount of risk is, what you're going to be dealing with. That's the important thing to look at. Getting back to the grains, someone's asked a question of the grains. When we come to we're going to come to a break here. at the half hour. Well, it's almost the top of the hour. I will bring up the couple of the grain charts to let you look at it, but I'm going to be doing a lot of work on those over the weekend in the newsletter for the futures part, 24/7, and then we'll be trading the grains on Tuesday, on the day we're going to be trading live, because they're in a topping action, and it'll give us a really good possibility. And since we're in a Tuesday versus a Monday for trading, you'll have some pretty good patterns lined up. So we're really watching those, and they're easy to trade. The margin is small. You don't have these monster moves like you have in the NASDAQ and all these other things. But those are the things that you watch. Remember, this NASDAQ, folks, it really makes the market. It controls the market because people watch that. I mean, when that thing takes off, it's they doesn't take any prisoners. So anyway, we're short the S&P from 3672. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay. Okay, folks, I want to give a little review of what we're going to be looking at next week. You'll see these January soybeans. We went above the ABCDs by quite a bit. We had $12 a bushel. We're now trading about 50 cents a bushel. Lower than that, we're down about 5 days in a row. Mr. Z happened to be on top of that, selling it around $12. I'm sure he's a happy little camper today. But the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention now is I'm trying to get these set up so that when we start to see these, when these markets move, they move so quickly that these are the ones that you can actually add to your positions. And those are the ones that can really be, pretty cool. If you take a look here at the corn market, and Mr. Z was saying he doesn't do well in corn, which I find that so hard to believe. But you'll notice here we had a beautiful 3 drive to a top pattern up there at that 440 level. And here's where we are now. We're in the midst of a little rally today. What we're watching for are these little 2 and 3 and 4 day rallies that don't go anywhere. And that's the key to, getting low risk trades. And if you look at the wheat market, and this is the one that we'll be focusing on, because you want to sell the weakest and buy the strongest. And any indicator that you're looking at, whether it's Amazon or Google, you always want to buy the strongest stocks and sell the weakest. But you'll notice here that the ABCD in the wheat completed way back in October. We got part of that move. We got part of that Gartley on the way down, which was good. But the main thing is look where we are now. We're 3 days and the market's gone nowhere. We had a low at 575 and we're trading at 581. The high has been 590. It's been a 15-cent range. It's not even at a 382 retracement. So if we come into this market on Tuesday and it's at a 382, that's what you got to be watching for, because those are your best and your lowest risk possible trades you can possibly have. They don't always work, but them working is better than 7 out of 10. I mean, those are not odds that you get in Las Vegas, and the risk on those is very, very small. You can become a farmer for less than $500. You don't have to lease the land and equipment and work the 10-hour days. Well, they work a lot more than 10 hours, but that's what you want to be watching for, is if you get that little dead cat, what we call the dead cat bounce. See you all tomorrow, folks. 877-927, Bill Meridian.